Good day to you, Guyana, and welcome to Facing the Nation. Thank you very much for joining us this week. I am Malika Ramsey. On today's program, we're focusing on an issue that continues to plague society. And that is the issue of teenage and adolescent pregnancy. Now, as you know, since the APNU AFC administration took office, our First Lady, our new First Lady, Mrs. Sandra Granger, she has been very, very vocal on the fact that we need to do all we possibly can to, if not eliminate it completely, at least reduce the incidence of teenage pregnancy, of having too many teenage mothers. That means parents, guardians, older siblings need to play a greater role in terms of guiding your child and guiding your children. It is not about being judgmental or saying how one should raise their child and not raise or not raise their child or children, especially the girl child. But it is in a sense society becoming one and helping you to raise these children, because we understand that life has changed, life has gotten very, very demanding, and some parents have to do 3-4 jobs, unfortunately, especially mothers, and they have to be away. Obviously, your teenage child, your teenage daughter would be left unattended, and very, very bad things can happen, because we know that young women don't only get pregnant because they go willingly to become involved in sexual activities. Some of them are unfortunately raped. We heard 2 weeks ago, the First Lady was very passionate about talking about statutory rape. Her thing is that she doesn't care if the young woman looks old enough to a man. The fact is that she's underage, it is rape, it is statutory rape. So today I am happy to have 3 young women talk about the work that they're doing and to share their experiences with you. It is not prudent and not advisable that we have teenage mothers or teenage potential mothers on our program, because we don't want them to be victimized. We're still dealing with a society where not everyone is yet conscious and sensitive enough not to say certain things and not to point fingers. So what we're doing today, we have 2 young women who are past teenage mothers. Of course, they're way past teenage stage now, both women. They are here to talk about their not only their experiences as teenage mothers, because of course they were unfortunately, it's really unfortunate I have to use this word, but victims of teenage pregnancy. So they're here to tell you all about themselves and their experiences. But before I introduce those 2 young women, I'd like to introduce another young lady who is she's the coordinator of Women Across Differences, and she has a major program that is designed to help care for these young women. I think it's 12 to 16. And of course, the name of that young lady is Miss Clonel Boston. Welcome to Facing the Nation.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ramsey.
All right. So it is so good to have you. And of course, before Clonel and I talk about the program, I introduce you to Miss Keisha Washington. Keisha, welcome. This is one of the past teenage mothers. And of course, Miss Tiffany Terrell. Welcome to Facing the Nation.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Glad to be here.
Okay, good. Wonderful. It is great to have all 3 of you. Clonel, let's talk about the program that you have. I'm told that it is designed to, again, for want of a better word, target young women 12 to 16 who are pregnant. Let's talk about the program.
Okay. In 2007, Women Across Differences, in collaboration with UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund, embarked on a comprehensive empowerment program to reduce unplanned pregnancies for adolescent girls. In 2007, what happened there, we designed that program. In 2008, we embarked on the program. The first thing that happened, that we did a baseline study, and we also did a qualitative study to really inform our work as it relates to teenage mothers. The program actually started in April of 2008, in which we had a pilot program of 25 girls. The main aim of the program is to reduce unplanned pregnancy.
Not just, sorry to cut in, but not just teenage, unplanned pregnancy in general?
Unplanned pregnancy among teenage girls.
Okay.
But at that time, when we designed the program, our focus was girls between the age of 15 to 19, and that was the target group for the pilot program. Because of the change in society as it relates to teen moms, we realized that we need to go even below 15 because also the fact that there are younger girls that are being impregnated. We decided on our evaluation and our monitoring even say that also to us that we need to go beyond 15. So presently now we're targeting girls aged 12 to 19. Okay? If I could speak about the program actually,
Yes,
it's to reduce unplanned pregnancy, one. It's also to give them a better quality of life. It's also to provide entrepreneurial development skills and to build their self-confidence. Those are the main objectives of the comprehensive empowerment program.
All right. If we can focus for a bit on the reduction of itself, that means that you don't only wait until these girls unfortunately become pregnant and then you care for them, but you reach out before. How do you measure that? How does that happen?
Okay, if I could say, first of all, I need to say how we have the girls to be a part of our program. It is this happens through organizations such like the Child Protection Agency, who's going to refer them. We have the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, who will refer them. And we also have girls from the various health centers that will refer them. That is saying that the girls that will come to our program are girls who, some of them already have their babies, and some of them are pregnant. In relation to your question as it relates to measurement, this will send me straight to some of our success. And that is to say 90% of our girls did not have a second or third pregnancy, according to our records as it relates to teenage pregnancy. Okay? And also we have almost 90% who have been using family planning methods. And that is the way how we measure our impact to see how many girls have become teenage mothers during that particular period of time, how many girls we have joined in the family planning clinics. So that is saying to us about our success of our program, and that is how we measure it.
And that leads me directly to the additional two young ladies on the program, of course. And I'm assuming these are two of your success stories.
We have so many of them.
So many of them.
These are two who are available this time. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's talk to Keisha Washington for a bit. There are young women at home right now, and even when the program is rebroadcast, there are young women who would look at you and say, well, that is brave. They're probably at this present time in state of teenage pregnancy. They're teens and they're pregnant. You, at this point, you can serve as a model for them to say, well, not because I'm pregnant at 12 or 13, that this is the end for me. How would you talk to those young women? Talk about your experience and how you have overcome and become a productive adult.
Well, first of all, I became pregnant at the age of 16 after becoming a school dropout. I was in a dark place, you know. I was left alone to ask myself questions such as, am I ready for the challenge ahead of me? Am I going to be able to walk with my head held high? Because people in society, you know, they are very much, they will discriminate. They have a
judgmental.
They judge very much judgmental, you know. So, you know, everyone will want to. Teenage pregnant mothers would want, you know, be indoors or be far away from people that will be judging them and so on and so forth. So, the experience for me, well, first of all, I was introduced by an aunt. So, after going to WAD, firstly, I had a very low self-esteem, was very shy. I thought, you know what, I can't become nothing better in life because of the mistake I've already made.
You actually told yourself these things?
Yes, because of, you know, people tell you all sorts of things, and that's just, you know, that's what's in your head, you know. So after joining WAD,
viewers, not to cut her, but viewers, for those of you who are just joining us, WAD means Women Across Differences. Go ahead, Keisha.
Yes. After joining WAD, it became like a second home for me because I would be very much lonely, and I would need someone to talk to that would not only pay attention to me, but I could tell them anything and they wouldn't judge me. And that is something I very much wanted, at that point of time in my life. So going to the program, it was a 6 months program about 2 years back. Yeah, 6 months a year, if I remember exactly. We did different skill training capacities, We learned floral, mani pedicure, hygiene, how to take care of a baby, SRH, etc. I had the opportunity to then go to a 6-week parenting program, and I was graduated from there also, knowing how to fully take care of my baby because it was parenting, So after that, take note, I already graduated from WAD program, and I was also sponsored to go to the business school to do computer and information technology, where I got 2 A's and 2 B.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm proud to say, I'm also in a World's magazine that is distributed worldwide about teenage adolescent mothers. And yeah, I'm very proud. China WAD, I don't know what to say, but it was something I needed, thank God, and if you have supportive family, to back you up, that's something good, because a lot of teenagers out there, they don't really have anybody to support them, and that leads to suicide, and that's a whole different case by itself. So upon that, I'm currently being sponsored by the First Lady, Sandra Granger, to do my CXC subject at Global Technology. So I'm doing 2 years because I dropped out of school in third form. And my aim is to work in a bank, to go to the university. And I would like to take this time out to say thank you very much, Sandra Granger. Thanks a million. I will never let you down, make you proud. And I would become what I thought I would never become. So that's it for me.
Oh, well, wonderfully said. And viewers, I must let you know this. Imagine she was the most shy one when they first came in the door, and she ended up talking even more than me. So I thank her for that. And I'm certain that you will make good on your promise to not only make the First Lady proud, but all young women watching you right now, you are serving as an example for them. And you are, in essence, telling them that, look, this is not the end of the road for you. So I just want to tell you congratulations on that. And I will be looking forward to hearing much more of the great things. And one of these days in the future, when I go into any one of the banks, I'll be happy to see you. Tiffany Terrell, let's talk about you and to you for a bit. At what age did you become pregnant?
Well, I became pregnant at age 15. I was a teenage mom with 2 children at 18.
Oh, wow.
And my friend told me about WAD. I was at home with my children and she called, I got a program for we go pan girl. I was like, what program is that, girl? Some teenage mother program in Queenstown. If you don't like it, you don't have to go back. So I went. It was Mondays and Wednesday for 1. So I dressed my children, put them in pram, both of them in pram now. Push from Garnet Street to Queenstown. Got there, just sit, watch, shy. No talking, nothing. Just watching all the time, because being a teenage mom at 18 with 2 children, the father was there, yes, but then you still, financially, you're not working. You have so many things that you want to do for your children. You don't have money. You have to depend on the child father. And it was kind of mental for me, because I'm not working. I like good things. I like my children have healthy things to eat. And when I don't have money to buy those things for my children, it's a frustration for me. But when I heard about this program, I was like, this program is so interesting. And take the walk. So I went, keep going, sitting in, or just watching on, ain't saying nothing. After a month or so into the program, that's when I started to open up, because they're a session whereas you're talking about yourself, like back from since you're small coming up. So everything that was hurting you from then, you start to let it out. So it helps you now to be free, because those are burdens that you're letting go of. And from going to WAD, hearing that they had 3 persons who are big in this society that was teenage mom. When they came to share their experience with us, that was like an outblast for me. Like, if these people, she could sing, and this lady is a lawyer, and, I can become like this person. I can do this for myself. I always wanted to be a lawyer growing up, but it happened that I got pregnant, so I didn't follow the road to becoming a lawyer. But coming to WAD helped me to know that even though I have these 2 children, it doesn't mean that I can't become this lawyer. I can still work and catch up and go back into becoming this lawyer. I was sponsored to go to Global Technology. That's after I graduated from Women Across Differences. Successfully did all the course and everything. I think at one point I didn't get to do some of the cake decoration and so, because I was working 2 jobs just to try to make ends meet for my children. And it was really, really challenging, because soon as you get into work, you come off of work, you gotta go into another one. And it was frustrating. Then when you go home, you got to make porridge, you got to look after the children. It was a struggle. But I thank God that I get over it, and I eventually left one of the jobs, and then I did leave the other one because I wanted to go back to school, and my boss told me, if you do that, everybody else gonna want to do that. So that was like
that set you off right away, because you felt as though your job would be threatened.
Yeah, so I just write in a resignation, resign. Because I got benefit myself. I have to do things so that I will be able to put things in place for my children, because I grew up with my grandmother. My dad and my mom, they're there, but it's like they're not there. So you had to do everything that Granny said. And Granny morals is good morals.
Yes.
Because if I never used to listen to Granny morals, I don't think I would have been like this church goer, praying to God, trusting in Him, and having faith in God. And with the help of WAD, I'm so empowered now that I can sit on this program to talk about,
and inspiring some young person at home.
WAD had helped me mentally. They helped me financially. They helped me. There's so many words that I could use to explain how WAD has helped me. I lost my second son. WAD supported me throughout that. It was a challenging time for me, but WAD supported me. Going to classes, I can remember at one time, WAD invited me to a workshop. I didn't have anybody to keep my sons, so I had to leave them with another teenage mother. That's the struggle. No one to take care of your children. I went to Global. Like I said, I was sponsored to go to Global. I got 2 A's, a B, and a C. That was like, you do that?
That's the whole side of yourself that you've never seen.
I was like, if I could do this, I could do anything else. I went to Guyana Industrial Training Center. I did a computer course there too also. Graduated with credit. I was like, me? It's me? Like, yes, girl, you're doing it. All right. When I finished that, I went on to study for social work at IDC. I did the year 1. I'm waiting to do the year 2. And I was sponsored to also to do that course. Graduated with another credit. It's like, wow, go girl.
You're on a roll.
Yes. Also, I'm a part of UNFPA Youth Advisory Group. As youth advisory members, we will go into the communities, and as a teenage mother, I love to share my stories because when I go into the community and I talk to the young people, the girls will be, how did you do this? How did you do that? I'm proud to tell them where I've been and what I have achieved now because I can save a life. Hearing from me, hearing from Keisha, hearing from the other teenage mothers, we can save a life. We are all teenage mother. We all go through the same thing but in different ways. And for you young people out there going to school, your friend may say, let me go by this boy or let me go here. Let me tell you something. When you gone by the boy, your friend gone home and she mother house and you left with your struggle.
Yeah.
When you left with your struggle and you burden, that friend ain't gonna want nothing to do with you because I could tell I had some friends in school when I become pregnant. Oh, I was the baddest thing on the face of the earth. So let me tell you, don't bother with your friend who gonna tell you, let me go around the corner and meet this boy. No, you tell your friend, you go, I can come and meet you later.
Ladies, I like this. And viewers, you know what I really especially love about this panel and today's program? These are young women. They're like you. They're like me. You can touch them. You can feel them. They feel the same things that you feel. They feel the same things that I feel. They heart the same way. And they're telling you that, look, we have risen above it with help, of course, with from women across differences. I'll talk to Clonel Boston a bit some more. But ladies, before I go back to Clonel, of course, this is for Keisha. Both Keisha and Tiffany. You've said a lot. You've talked about yourself. Tiffany, you even just pushed in a bit of advice for some of the young women. But in general, and of course, I'll begin with you, Keisha. In general, what would you say to young women, not the ones who are already pregnant, who've unfortunately already gotten themselves into some trouble, but the ones who are in school and are possibly tempted by not only peer pressure but so many other things that cause them to not focus on what they're really supposed to be focusing. What would you advise them? How would you advise them to stay the course?
Okay, first of all, stay in school. I mean, when I used to go to school, sometimes, school would feel so boring. I would go bus ride, join friends because everybody want to be a part of a group, So peer pressure is really out there. It could make you do a lot of things. I wish I hadn't dropped out of school because of the many challenges. Being a single parent and so on, it wasn't easy at all. So I would say, again, stay in school, focus on your studies. Your boyfriend, you can't stop it, but use protection. Protection, prevent pregnancy, STIs, HIV, and you just go, do your CXC, become what you want to become, and that's it.
Okay, great. Tiffany, any other words of advice other than not following the friends?
Well, first of all, I just want to tell you to know what you want. When you know what you want, you go after what you want. Believe in yourself. People might tell you, oh, you can't become this because you're like your mother, you're like your father. Don't listen to those remarks because those are negative remarks on you. So long as you believe in yourself, because many people would say you can't do this, you can't do that, and I have overcome all these different challenges that I've been through. I've been to all these different classes where I had doubts that I would have been successful, and I was successful in them. So believing in yourself and trusting in God. Pray about every situation, everything that you're going through. Put it before God, just like how you will talk to your friends or talk to your mother or talk to somebody about a problem. You go before God, lying on your bed, you say, Father, this is it. And you let him know, and he's going to guide you. He's going to take you to places that you never thought that you will go. because he is our creator. He knows what we desire for ourselves, and believing in yourself takes you places. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody ain't gonna believe for you. So you got to know what you want as a young person. Yes, boyfriend will come. Yes, you will have temptation, but you as an individual have to know what you want to achieve, what goal you have set out for yourself. So
Okay, all
just
right,
believe in yourself.
All right, Clonel, you earlier you talk about, and I'm hearing it from the girls that you
Yeah.
have done so much and you continue to do so much. Earlier you talked about the 90% success rate. How does your organization survive? How have you been getting things like facilities for these girls, donations, funding, and so on to actually send them to school and so let's talk about that.
Okay, well, I must say that funding is a great challenge for Women Across Differences. As I said previously, the only sponsor for the program at that time was UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund. That's the only funding. And most of the time, some of us have to go into our pockets because they only give a certain amount of funds. And these girls, each and every one of them will bring their babies along with them because there is no support for their babies and what has a small physical space. So funding is a challenge, and that is why they said earlier that they've been sponsored. But what we do, we try to ask different persons, different stakeholders, different individuals to sponsor, maybe to sponsor a girl or something like that. That's the only way. But I should say also, coming down to presently now on the program, UNFPA is no more with us in relation to this particular program, but they have changed their mandates. So, but through UNFPA, they had a World Population Day forum in which one of our girls spoke, shared her story the same way, and one stakeholder, a private sector, came on board, and that is the Republic Bank Company Limited. So
Okay.
that is the group that is with us for 2015 program.
So it would definitely be feasible, though, to have more than one major group on. Like as
Yes.
in the case of Republic Bank, you would like to have multiple things on.
Because of the fact the program is so comprehensive, and if I should just speak a little about it,
Yes,
we
sure.
have there are like 4 broad areas. They're the areas of personal development, which has about 12 topics under that. Then we have sexual reproductive health, which has like 10 topics. We have basic functional literacy. We have entrepreneurial development. We have psychosocial support, which needs a lot of funds too. Could be a lot of counseling. You have to do home visits and things like that. So it is so comprehensive that it needs maybe not one funder, but we could do so much more. We have the babies there. We had to borrow 2 cradles. We have one baby, 4 babies in one cradle. Because we don't have enough cradles.
And we usually-
Outside, we have to spread
mattress.
the mattress outside, whereas the older babies, like you said, the bigger
Yeah.
ones, between 1 to 2, gonna just lie outside. Because we're more on a bottom house setting. Okay, although we might say we have so many success stories and all of
Yeah,
that.
but it is still a struggle to get to the success stories.
Yeah, but we know in future we're gonna be okay.
Okay.
We are
all
seeing the
right.
signs. Yeah.
Well, wonderful. I am happy that you were confident that you're going to be okay. Let's talk a bit about. I know it's a non-governmental organization, but let's talk about government input. This is aside from First Lady's
Yeah.
efforts. Any plans or anything in the works to work with any of the ministries, meaning in
Okay.
this case health or
Yeah.
social protection?
Let me say this to you, and I said it earlier that Child Protection Agency, those and the Georgian Public Hospital Corporation, and the health centers, those are the agencies that refer the girls to us. But we have never received any sort of funding
or
so from. We never receive no funding. We just do it on our own.
On your
We accept the girl because a 12-year-old child might come to the organization, need to be a part of the program. It's difficult. It's so difficult to child away. And I should say the Georgian Public Hospitals will send a large amount of girls. Okay, not send the girls, but send a list of girls. Large amount, like 84, Large amount like 62 and those among.
Have you ever had a situation where you had to turn away?
Of yes, because our physical space could only accommodate 25 to 30 girls. So of course, yes, it's hard. So that is the reason, one of the reasons why we said this time, 2050, we're going to take the younger girls. So we could say that's the kind of screening we're doing. We could say to a young lady at 19, I'm sorry, we're unable to take you this time because we're only focusing on girls aged 12 to 16. We have to really come up with some criteria like that.
Yeah, because then you don't want to create a situation whereby you're trying to do good, but you end up doing bad. Because if you have too many of them, you can't have the full focus that you would like to have, and it could even, in a sense, put them in some hazardous.
And I should add, it's just not only the office location, we also work extended program to the communities. So we work with a number of health centers in the communities. We work with Agricola Health Center already. We work with Sophia Health Center. We work with Monrepo. We also work with Lusitnan Health Center and Enterprise Health Center. So the program is extended also in the communities.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That indeed, it's a lot to take into from you, Colonel. So, in working with all of these people, because if you're working with all of these centers and these agencies, they will keep sending. But what is the cutoff number? What is the limit that you would accept at any one time of girls?
Of girls, we're going to go stop at 25.
Stop at 25.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we have to provide a snack and the transportation.
And what do you have for them? Because now you're saying you're 12 to 16. Mm-hmm. That is the age you're working with. Is it a case when they have gone past the age of 16, they come out of the program? How does that happen?
Okay, I think Tiffany and maybe they didn't share it as yet, but some of the beneficiaries already formed themselves into a special group, and they call themselves Young Mothers for Change, and that's the group Tiffany and Keisha, they're in.
I don't know why they kept that from me.
So what they do, their plan is to, maybe you could ask them what their plans are for the group, but in addition to that, they're also big sisters for all the groups. Because we're now in our 6th batch of teenage mothers.
Okay, ladies, let's talk about that, your involvement, because this is good. Not only are you inspiring from this program, but you're actually doing work. Let's talk about that. Anyone?
First of all, to form this group came from me because of, like I said, I'm a part of the UNFPA Youth Advisory Group, and from going into the communities, talking to the young people. If they can listen to me alone, if they hear from the other girls, they're going to listen to, because my story mightn't be like Keisha's own. Keisha's story mightn't be like your story. So I came to Miss Kana, I told her about this idea of mine to form this group so that we can go out and to reach out to the young people, even if we can get the opportunity to go to schools, to go to maybe groups and share with the young people. And Miss Kana was like, yes, that's a nice idea. And while it was Christmas time, we came together, we formed our group, we had our motto, our aim and everything. Unfortunately, I got pregnant, so I was like out of sight for a while because of the everything that comes with pregnancy. But now that I've given birth to a lovely baby boy.
Congratulations.
She's married.
Thank you.
I'm married.
Yes, I'm married.
Yes, please say that loudly.
Yes, I'm married.
So
now.
again,
this
is just so that the young girls can understand that this is not the end of it for you.
I'm the same father of my children too. I'm married too.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's still a challenge, but like I said, what has built my self-esteem. I also have represented us teenage mothers in Dominica. They had a forum there. I've been to Mexico. There was a youth forum there. And Trinidad and Tobago.
Colonel, all of this she kept from me.
Yes.
And
it's so much.
Going to these places has really given me this boost to know that if I can talk to one person, I can change a life. And if I go to these places, I'm on TV, I'm live, people are hearing me. So 2 or 3 lives can be saved by me.
I I want to just come back to the group for just a bit. The what is it called?
Young
Mothers
Mothers
for
for Change. So you said it was formed Christmas as in 2014 or before that?
Yes, 2014.
So it's about 1 year now.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you're, in terms of going out in the community, what are some of the things that you're hearing from some of these young women, and not only young women, but older women who have their struggles? What are some of the things you're hearing from them that you think the group can address?
Well, for the young people, the struggle is peer pressure.
Okay.
They all talk about what the friend doing and they want to be like the friend. So as young people, we're young adults now. We're no longer teenage mothers. If we can like give them some sort of opportunity in like maybe doing some trade for themselves, maybe like we learn tie-dye, we learn to do all these things. We can teach these young people how to do craft stuff for themselves so that they can make a little dollar. Because right now they have in the communities, you hear burglary, and it's young people. You're hearing the young people name are calling. They in school you're seeing these different porn videos from the young people. If they have things that will occupy their time, they will no longer have time to idle and to do things that will take them down the wrong path. So our group will basically try to, if we get the support from organization, because you can't do it on our own because you need finances, you need things to move around, you need materials. So if there's people who could come on board and help us to support our young people in the communities, I think we'll have a better society of young people.
Okay, all right, great. Before I go back to Clonel and then begin to wrap up with you ladies. Yes, Keisha, let's talk about your role and what are you seeing and what the extent to which you think that group can go.
Well, first of all, let me say that I also had the opportunity to speak in public clinics with Ms. Cornell and to listen to not only teenagers, but everyone, in general. So, you're talking about your experience and they tell you experience. That was a fun, it's something fun to do. But the group that we were planning, it's going to take a bit of time. Yeah, but we are also planning to have a specific, what's it? The slogan? Is it
Your
logo, so that
logo.
when you see us, you will say, these are teenagers or whatever is it. You must know that we're representing teenage.
We'll see you out in the communities, not only us politicians.
Yes. But you will see us and you'll know that these girls are for young teenage mothers. Honestly, I wish if I had money, because I said if I win the lottery, I would buy a whole block of land and build up a home for teenage mothers, put a supermarket so that they can get things.
Don't forget, you would have to give women across different systems.
No, honestly, and I just pray that because of the struggle, I just have this vision that if I get this money, I would do this for the teenage mother. Get this, and you get this. They get their own apartment with stove and everything, because some teenage mothers, we're living in conditions, rainfall, you get flooded. Till here the water is, so it's a struggle for the teenage, especially when you don't have the support of your family, and then you're a single mom being a teenage mother. It's a struggle.
Okay.
It's a struggle.
Ladies, we have to begin to prepare to wrap up. But before we do that, Clonel, one of the things I must ask you, today's program, viewers, and for those of you who are now joining us, you've missed a whole lot. Today's program was really designed to talk with Miss Clonel Boston as the coordinator of Women Across Differences, and we wanted to focus specifically on adolescent and teenage pregnancy, and we did that. We have achieved that, but Clonel, I want to ask you about possible other projects in terms of addressing issues in general in society. Like, for example, this is a a sore point because we can't, and she's saying suicide, but apart from suicide, because we can't seem to get these things under control. Abuse against women, domestic violence, and so on. Any major programs, just as in the way that you're focusing specifically on teenage pregnancy? Any programs?
If I should just add, Women Across Differences, this is just one of our program. We have a whole lot of other programs such as gender-based violence and gender development training, leadership training, climate change, and all the other training. But in relation to the same comprehensive empowerment program, we are collaborating with other organization or agency. For example, sexual and reproductive health aspect of it is being done all the time by GRPA or other persons from Ministry of Health who want to come on board. For the gender-based violence program, we also collaborate with Help and Shelter. So it's not that we have all the resources there from Women Across Differences, but we do collaborate with other agencies. I want to go back to the point with Tiffany and Keisha when they spoke about what they're doing. I know the main aim of that program was to do advocacy work because they said they want to make the change in the society, and also want to really comment Tiffany, because Tiffany is she's an adult now. She listened to us. She waited 2 or 3 years before she could have got pregnant, although she married, although her husband didn't really he wasn't offensive, but that is how it's supposed to be. You need to plan. You have to have your right timing. And go back to your question, Malika, as I said, we do work in the area of abuse, and in the comprehensive empowerment program, those are areas in which we focus on. Visioning and goal setting is why they could speak to things like what they want in life and their goals, because in that program, all of that is incorporated into the program. But for me, what we need is a more more holistic approach, or to have more stakeholders on board, as I said before, because teenage pregnancy is a real, Ghana is identified as the second country in the Caribbean with the amount of high rate of teenage pregnancy. And while it's just touching the surface, I am sure. So I think we need other stakeholders to really come on board. If we really, really want to make that change. I am sure while alone cannot do it. We maybe were the first organization to embark on something like that with UNFPA, but we need other persons to come on board so we could really address and make the kind of change in our society, and to really invest in our young girls, because we're going to invest in the entire generation.
And this is just 2 examples.
You should really hear them.
Oh, don't worry, I will do my research and try to get onto them before we have to begin to wrap up. What can we see from Women Across Differences? What would you like the public to take away from you as we begin to wrap up today's discussion?
Okay, what I would like the public to take away from us is to come on board, everyone to be involved. That's 1. And 2, that investing in one girl, you could invest in an entire generation to really make that change in our society.
All right, wonderful. Viewers, this is where we have to bring the curtain down on this discussion. Once again, I would like to thank Ms. Clonel Boston. She is the coordinator of Women Across Differences. Of course, you heard about all the things that they're doing that we expect to see change in society. And the changes are taking place, but they're not announced in a big way every day. So that's why we have programs like these to facilitate such efforts and progress coming from non-governmental organizations like Women Across Differences. These 2 young women, I would like to say congratulations. Both of you, you've touched me in a big way today, because we always hear the stories about, and this is to use our own language. She going, she dropped out to school, she had a baby, whatever. Okay, fine, we've moved on from that. What has become of this young girl? after then? Did she go down the wrong road again? Did she go down the right road? So it was indeed refreshing to speak to both of you young ladies. Congratulations, continue doing what you're doing, and I can promise you that you have served as an inspiration today. Miss Keisha Washington and Miss Tiffany Terrell Hunt. Viewers, and again, remember she's married and she's very proud of the fact that she was a teenage pregnancy, and she is now married. So she's correcting me. It's Miss Tiffany Terrell Hunt, because I don't want her husband to call me and say, well, put on the hunt there. So, ladies, once again, thank you so much for being a part of this program. Viewers, I will take a break. We'll take a quick break and come right back. Of course, by the time I get back, it will be time for me to wrap up today's program. Stay tuned. This is Facing the Nation. Viewers, welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us. For those of you who are now joining us, it is unfortunate that you missed what I would call a very refreshing program. It's very different from the programs that I usually do. I thought it necessary to have Miss Colonel Boston from Women Across Differences on the program, and she didn't come alone. She well, it's close to the Christmas season, so I can say that she came bearing gifts. She came with two young women who she's very, very proud of, and those two young women are just two of the young women that she has done so much for, and Women Across Differences has done so much for, and we should be proud of them. All Guyanese, all struggling mothers, all single parents, we should be proud of these two young women, because they were brave enough to say, look, we took a wrong path when we were teenagers. We were influenced by whatever bad things were out there, and we have, in a sense, snapped out of it, and we have now become productive adults in society, and we're making a difference, and we're making a change. So it really and truly was refreshing to have those ladies on today's program. Well, lots happening. One of the things I want to talk about quickly before I wrap up today's program is the fact that we are in Road Safety Month. And talking about the fact that we're in Road Safety Month is touching me today. It's very, very touching, because I can remember exactly 1 year ago, I did an interview with the founder of Mothers in Black, Ms. Denise Dias. Of course, those of you who are not familiar with Mothers in Black, it's an organization that was formed after Ms. Denise Dias, unfortunately, a few years ago, well, many years ago, lost her child via a traffic accident. She decided to get a group of mothers together, and they formed this organization. And they've been doing a lot of work and working along with the Road Safety Council, even the Traffic Department, the Guyana Police Force, and they've been doing so much too. And they don't only work, that is the good thing, they don't only work during Road Safety Month. Of course, as you know, Road Safety Month is every November. That has become national for us. And we need to focus on that, because people are still not respecting the road rules. As a driver myself, I can tell you we are not perfect. Mistakes will be made. But when we do really, really silly things that cost time, money, lives, and I mean, I am currently sitting here and I'm a victim of one. And I hate to refer to myself as a victim, but I have to. So because of a very careless and callous driver last evening, I was involved in a 3-car accident. And the most unfortunate thing about it is, after wasting all of that time, and again, I know the Guyana Police Force, you're doing a lot. You're trying to better things, especially the traffic department. But you have to do much more than that, much better than that. It is unacceptable for there to be an accident at a certain time and 30 minutes after, when a police station is just about, let's say, for argument's sake, 5 or 7 minutes up the road, more than 30 minutes after, you were still waiting on a traffic rank to get there to assess the damage and what was done. I am grateful that no one was hurt in that accident. Again, I said I'm not a perfect driver, but I must let you know, especially those of you who look to me as an example, I wasn't the driver in the wrong. Again, it is unacceptable for any person involved in an accident when the police station is just basically down the road to wait more than 30 minutes for a traffic rank to show up. And then when the traffic rank shows up, yes, I must give him credit where credit is due. He did his work. He was professional, but very courteous. But then when you get to the station, it is in a state. Not only is it ancient, but it's a very, I mean, any law enforcement office is not necessarily supposed to be a comfortable place for you to be, but at least there must be pleasant odors around. It was horrible, and we need to do better. Guyana, we need to do better. I know that we have efficient police officers out there who are doing what they're supposed to be doing, but at the same time, we have too many who are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And our errant drivers, I must come back to you. And the unfortunate thing about my situation is that you have a driver there who's in the wrong, admitted that he's in the wrong, spoke to the police, spoke to the other two drivers who were also involved in the accident that he caused, made a commitment to do things that he's supposed to do regarding getting everything settled in terms of the damages to the 3 vehicles. And then when you're calling this errant driver, again, and I must stress who is responsible for that accident, and I'm not going to call his name, not right now on on live television, national television, that same driver is refusing to take your calls and evading you. We always say it. We see it in the ads and the public service announcement when it comes to talking about traffic accidents. Traffic, it takes lives, it wastes time, and it takes your money and your energy. And I can tell you, speaking from experience in the last 24 hours, it stresses you out completely. Because nobody wants to be driving around with a car that's damaged, that further damage can be done, especially when you don't have the proper diagnosis. So, drivers, please, I am begging you, you cannot be in such a hurry that you have no value for your lives, for the lives of pedestrians, and for the lives of other drivers. You have to be focused, and you have to really and truly try your best. We're human. They say it is human to err and it's divine to forgive. So we are human and we will make mistakes, but try to minimize those mistakes. Because as far as I'm concerned, where I am sitting, last night's accident could have been avoided if that driver was a little more responsible and if he was a little more focused. So within the space, and this is how ridiculous it is, and we always hear the Guyana Road Safety Council talks about this all the time. In a space of 1 minute, you have managed to damage 3 vehicles. You have wasted so much time, taken so much energy, and you're currently stressing the drivers who are involved in it. All of that could have been avoided if you had just taken 5 seconds to focus on what you were doing. Viewers, it is National Road Safety Month. And it's not only about this month. Please be careful, because I'm also reminded about what happened on the Demerara Harbor Bridge last Sunday. Again, this is being irresponsible and not being focused. How could you possibly attempt to turn a vehicle around on the Demerara Harbor Bridge, on a wet bridge too? I mean, I use that bridge every day, and the things that people do on that bridge. And then when the accidents happen, we have to cry and we have to mourn the loss, and children have to be left without parents, and parents have to be left without children, and people have to be left without siblings. We have got to do better, Guyana, when it comes to using our roads. Yes, I know I'm probably too passionate about this today and very emotional, and this is because it has knocked on my door. They always say, don't wait until things knock on your door, but I'm proud to say that these are the things I always warn our citizens about. So, on that note, I am going to wrap up today's program. I am going to remind you to be careful on our roads, especially when it rains. You have to be extra cautious. And of course, as always, I will remind you to be good Guyanese citizens. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and join me for another program next time. Goodbye.